Hello, boys and ladies. This is Floor from Nightwish, and I want you to get your horns up.
Well, first of all, welcome to New York City.
Thank you very much.
First day of the tour, one of the first shows with the new album out. Obviously, we gotta start with a new album. It's your first album with a band.
Yeah.
How did you feel working with this, great group of guys, obviously veterans in the music like you are? How was the whole process of kind of gelling the ideas together and getting it on record?
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's a long process. You don't start. Indeed, this is my first studio album with the guys, so writing together or getting the music together, that was the first time. Tuomas, our keyboard player, he's our main composer, and the big reason why Nightwish sounds the way it does. And together with Marco, he's been writing demos. I'm a songwriter, but not in Nightwish. So for me, this was the first time to sing or to start working on an album I didn't actually co-wrote, which is perfectly fine, by the way, just to clear that out, that if you have fantastic talents just like Marco and Tuomas, then my ego is just fine with, going with whatever they write and having the freedom to put my vocals onto a melody. I mean, the demo was a piano melody, playing the vocal lines and the lyrics. Okay, so how do you put that into a real something? How do you phrase it? How do you do things dynamically? What kind of sound do you want to make? And it was great that I had some time at home with that to kind of set the basics, and then we started rehearsing as a whole band. We went through everything for 6 weeks long, really going through a lot of details, which got a really cool band vibe, which I think you can also hear back on the album. Gave me as a vocalist a lot of time to really feel it, really get it. And then we went into the recordings immediately, so no demo stage or pre-recording, whatever in between, just straight into that. And I think that was a very, very cool decision. And then sort of comes the waiting, at least on my end, because then you have so many tracks, not just the band, but also an orchestra, percussion, choir, the whole 9 yards. Our team's been working on that together with mainly Tuomas to get the sound right. We were on top of it. Yeah, and then it's finally done, and then you wait until you can finally. So I'm very, very excited to finally start. This is the very first show here in New York of our world tour, and so we haven't been on stage together since August 2012. So that is really, really exciting. First time with this album. So yeah, you can tell that you could say I'm excited, yeah.
And speaking of New York City and your first show, do you remember your first time playing in New York City?
Yes, yeah, I do. That was with After Forever, and we played in BB King's. It was one of the highlights of that tour for us. We played with Overkill. And I wasn't sure if the combination of After Forever and Overkill would work, but it really did. Music fans here are very open-minded to all kinds of styles of music, so it doesn't really matter as long as you're good and bring a good show. And I think they even enjoy some variety. I think that's also what we're going to bring here, having Nightwish with Sabaton and Delane, all bands bring a whole different vibe to the stage. So yeah, I think I really enjoyed it, and the place. When you're Dutch, you grow up far away from you know, the only things you know from New York comes from movies. I know it's a cliche, but I remember that struck me very much. Like, oh my God, you know, this is from the movies and that. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a vocalist and as a front woman, what are the things that you do behind the scenes to be able to do this on the tour consistently? Because as you know, you need to take care of your voice, you need to take care of your body. So what are some of the things that you do behind the scenes to make sure that when you get up there, you own it?
There are very obvious ones I could say here, like, you know, I work out, I eat healthy, I sleep a lot, or enough anyway. They are all very, very true. But I think a healthy dose of fun and letting go a little bit is equally important. I'm not the kind of singer that's always super, super careful. Because when I did that, it just bit me in the ass somehow, because it's just, yeah, you need your fun and you don't want to overanalyze everything you do. So a good glass of red wine, or maybe a little bit too much every now and then, is just fine. Heavy boozing, not so much, because you don't recover enough from it. But if there is a good party, then I think I should go with the flow. The only thing I always have to avoid is cigarette smoke and loud talking. That is not a diva thing, that is just a fact. It really is bad for their voice.
Have you ever run into a situation that you can't perform because your voice is shot?
No, actually I haven't. I have had situations where I couldn't perform because the whole system didn't work, but just the voice, yeah, I'm thinking now, because I have had moments where I was sick and that you need to adapt, but to really cancel because I had no voice at all never happened.
Nice, that's good to hear. And what are some of your guilty pleasures?
Oh, well, I've never been a gamer in my whole life, but someone got me into a game called Heyday, where you have your own farm, and I have my own farm on Heyday. I must say I haven't played it all week because I just hadn't had any time, but if I have a moment, it's a perfect way to switch your brain off and just play, you know, feed cows and harvest hay.
What are some of your favorite things to do while on tour?
I really genuinely like to work out. I think it's a great way to empty your mind. Depending on where I am, no, that's not true. I always like to find a quiet place where I can have a drink with either my band members or friends, or, you know, just because there's always noise and sound and a lot of people. It's sometimes really nice to find a quiet restaurant or a quiet bar without 15 television screens up and loud music playing. That is something that I can really enjoy. And an even more rare thing to find is a piece of nature every now and then. Super important. I really need an open field or a forest or something like that to every now and then clear my mind. I genuinely miss nature on tour because we usually hit the bigger cities. So, you know, coming here in New York is always like a shock because I nowadays live in Finland. There are 5.5 million people in entire Finland. Well, you know, here in Manhattan, you know, I don't know how many more just here in Manhattan. So the difference is massive. I always need some time to adjust, and then I kind of really go into the buzz and the vibe. That's awesome. But I do need moments when, just to find a quiet spot.
Every time we try to carry on.